All right, all right. Yes, I sound like Matthew McConaughey. I just realized that after like the 16th episode. Hopefully he doesn't find me for this. But back with Dale Forward. This is the NFT Art Creator Series, and I think we're like on our fifth or sixth episode if we include your RAND gallery minting process, your AB2 minting process, which is very helpful to a lot of folks. They have told me. So
Oh, that's cool.
want to catch up where you're at on your journey.
Yeah, so we were just talking about it before we started the video. So because I just had my shuffle and stuff, and that went really cool. It's like, because what happened was I had it was something like 10 pieces, and I was going to release them on like the Tuesday, but then what I like to do sometimes is just like upload them early and just have them in the shuffle wallet so that they're in there and everything. But then yeah, I set it up so it was like a 100 algo early, because I was just like, hey, if you really wanted it, maybe you could go and buy it. Like and I really didn't expect anything to come from that, because I was like, hey, like 100 algo, that's like double the price. Like that, I didn't expect anybody to get it. But then, yeah, like in like maybe an hour or so, they were all sold out, maybe a little bit more or something like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
I know that one guy bought 6 because he really wanted one piece from it. Crazy times. Like,
Okay. Oh, so you wanted one specific one, so you kept shuffling.
yeah, it was ridiculous. And so I am going to do that for, oh right, I haven't checked out this sort of stuff.
So this is on
Yeah,
the
like,
23rd. Well, let's see.
yeah,
Oh, this is the same guy right here. You're right here.
yeah. All
Bam.
right, so you must have bought a few then. Yeah. Yeah.
One,
Um,
two. You got a fan. I mean, that's what you need, man. One raving fan.
yeah.
Damn. Sorry for my language. Oh, look at that guy. I mean, these are really amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So that's the one that I think you really wanted.
Well, he kept going.
Yeah.
Because these are after.
Yeah. What's the last one there?
He went to 178. It's not coming up because it doesn't
All
want to.
right. Mystery one.
Oh, that one's cool too.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, right. Oh, you just
Oh, there he
collected them
is.
all.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was like a really interesting time for me, because I haven't had a shuffle since last year. And so like for me, that was pretty huge in a way. Like that was a small shuffle, but for like the belief of like, yes, 100 algo and stuff was fine. Like, and then after that, I talked to a whole load of people saying like, hey, like, is 100 okay? Is this normal and stuff?
Yeah.
And yeah, and people were saying, hey, like, yeah, it's probably okay to like slowly move up to 100 algo now. Like, it's
So that's what you did. You put the shuffle up, but it was at for 100 algo, but it was going to happen the following day because you were going to lower it to 50. But before you had the
yeah,
chance to do it, sold out.
yeah. So the plan sort of now is for the next shuffle that'll be happening like this weekend is I'll set it up on the day of release, it'll be 100, and then the next day it'll go down to 50. So I guess like the idea is, if you did really want to get a piece, then you can like spend the extra algo. Yeah, that was from an auction as well. That was
Yeah.
really fun. And yeah, and then of course, like if like not many people have picked it up, or like it's not all sold out, then yeah, like then it can go down to 50, which is like the true sort of mint price. So I kind of see it as like early release. If you wanted to, like, you would have a better chance of getting it, because like less people are going to buy it at 100 than 50. So
Right. True. True.
yeah, and so yeah, and so I've been using my Telegram as well to like be a bit more in touch with my people and stuff, which has been really good. So like an issue that came up with that
There's
that
no
release.
link. There's no link on your link tree. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I do need to get onto that actually.
Come
I'll
on,
write that
Dale.
down.
Come on,
No,
slacker.
hey, like I'm always growing. Yeah.
I
No,
was
but
looking for it.
yeah,
I do
well,
have Telegram.
it's a pinned tweet, so I guess I kind of sort of thought it shouldn't be too bad, you
Oh,
know.
there it is. All right. All right. Algo
Um,
God chat right away. I like that.
yeah, and
Yeah, I
so
used to use Telegram. It's a lot, but I think it's. I mean, it has. I think it's pretty good. Oh,
yeah,
my screen's
for
not.
like maybe a few days of being up there, it's not too bad. And like for me, it's just to keep in touch with people, like because what I found was like I had a lot of questions for people. Like I always like asking for their feedback and stuff. Um, and like yeah, it was just a good spot to share my art and ask more specific stuff. So like, yeah, I've just been sharing tweets, like, because as well, with Twitter, not everybody that follows me sees my posts. So this was more like
Yeah.
saying, hey, if you want to make sure that you see the stuff I'm uploading, join my Telegram if you want to use it and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
have that
yeah,
problem too. I didn't think anybody else had that problem.
no, yeah, it's
No
just the
one's using
algorithm.
tweets. It's tough.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And that's why people use Discord and stuff for that. But yeah, and so now I've been focusing on my actual art because I've been really looking into why people buy and what type of art they're wanting to get. Because I also released a surprise drop of 4 pieces, and maybe I'll share my screen so then you can
Sure.
have a look. Um, so you see it?
Yep.
Yep. So these are the pieces so far that I've made in this sort of new style since like I think the last video that we made. And so like I've got all the different variations, and there's definitely like say there's the commission piece sort of style ones where it's you and Malcolm, and then I did one of Shane as well. Um
Oh, nice.
but yeah, yeah. But so what I've been sort of realizing is the qualities that make it more or less like engaging, maybe for the masses or like stuff like that. So I've been really trying to keep track of the qualities in each piece and then the pieces as a whole, and then like checking them in relation to how quickly they get sold if they were just it's pure sales, or as well if they go up on secondary or not.
Got it.
um yeah, because say like that piece that went really well, in like everybody was engaging with it, and that like people wanted to buy it, they didn't want to just flip it. But
Right.
then say with like you know, like this piece here, right, it I would say is just a slightly weaker piece. It's still, if I open it up, it's strong. Like I still like the piece, but I think it doesn't have that more wow factor and engaging from the get-go. And so if like say I look at this piece, right, like that it's a bit more impressive and there's a bit more like higher quality content in there. So I'm trying to analyze with my pieces which ones stand out more than others and like what qualities are actually in there. So
Mhm.
I've been looking at the levels of detail, like so in terms of scale, the composition of the piece, the types of characters that are main character, the colors and stuff like that. And the things that I've been getting involved in is basically like, so there's certain compositions that work better. Um, there's also certain colors that are more engaging, and then certain character choices.
Yeah.
Because like, and then there's also the level of because it's all perceived value, I think, with NFTs. Like when you're buying an NFT, you're
Sure.
buying a hyperlink to an image. So it's more about that community perceived value in it. So it's like we all say that, say, this piece here has some value and that there could be someone else that wants to buy it off it. And the only time that, say, my NFTs would go to zero is when there's nobody that sees value in my work. And so that would be when it can stop.
That's when you
And
change careers.
yeah, yeah. And so right, so like say even with this piece, it's not like, and this is the one that you've collected, it's not as like generally detailed as the other ones, although there is detail in, say, the leaves and like the folds of the clothing and stuff.
Right.
The more engaging part, I think, is the colors that have been used, where it's like a bit different, but it's also like calming and engaging and stuff. But more so, I think the concept behind it, like the idea of this guy doing the one arm push, like the one arm handstand, and it's upside down.
Right.
And like and so I think that it's that sort of aspect that I think I've been missing a little bit in some of my pieces, where it's, when you look at it, it's engaging from the get-go, and it also is like an idea that you can really connect with. Like, and I think it's going to be hard for me to fully understand, like maybe until a few weeks deeper into it, to get it more consistent and stuff coming out. Because me analyzing my art a bit more detailed now, like I've been doing this all my life, right? And
Yeah.
I'm still learning this stuff. And so I'm thinking, yeah, in the next maybe month, I'll have broken down what I need to do. So what I'm planning to do is like, even say with Malcolm, is like, you know, this guy, you already know him. So it's like, this is an engaging piece because you've already connected to it before you've looked at the details.
Right.
And yeah, like say the spider and stuff, you can see a story in there.
Yeah. Well, you can all tell. I mean, they're all like, I can tell that they're your genre. I mean, just because I know your art pretty well, not that well, but
Yeah.
you know, I've
No, yeah.
have quite a few pieces, and you know, I talk to you, you know, weekly, bi-weekly, you know, doing this.
Yeah.
But number 5 really, I don't know what it was called again, but that, I mean, that one really jumps out to me as you're talking about the composition, the background, like the moon between like the horn ears, and it just seems like it's, you know, lighting
Yeah.
up the far. I mean, it's just like, it's captivating. And plus, obviously, the main piece is just, it's not something you see every day.
Yeah, well, and that's sort of what I'm trying to do. Like, I am trying to make stuff that stands out from like the normal stuff on Rand Gallery or whatever. But then it's like there's another level to it where it doesn't just stand out. You need to, I think, be able to look at it and see like
Right.
the heart of the image or something in there. Where like say like with this piece, I'm still proud of this piece, but it is sort of lacking that extra level there. And I don't know if you can see it. Like I can sort of see
Which
that there's maybe
which exact piece are you looking at?
this one here. Sorry, this pink one. Can you see this one or not?
I see all of them together. I don't know. The pink
Oh,
one.
right. Okay. I was looking through. Sorry. I think that because I was screen sharing, there was
Yeah, I
like,
only see one screen. Yeah, I just see one
oh,
through.
okay. All right. I was scrolling through and I was, sorry, looking at this piece down here.
Okay.
So I might be
Oh,
able to I go new share maybe, and then so I'll
yeah,
open
I'm not
that
sure.
up.
I mean, I see it now. 21952. Is that the one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um. Oh well. Anyway, that's all good. But oh, I think if I go screen share, did that open up the thing now?
It did open up. Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right. I just clicked the wrong button before, but yeah. So say with like this piece, right? It's just missing sort of that extra depth in there. Like maybe I still think it's a good piece, but it's missing that like the home or something of it. Like
Mhm.
the thing where you're like, yeah, I already know what this is. Like there's too much new in here. And like composition and color wise, I think it's generally pretty strong, but it doesn't have that connection in it. Where say if I like I don't know, this was a
Oh,
commission
wow.
piece I did for a guy where I guess like you can see the hands and
Yeah.
stuff down the bottom, and then you've got the ship and planets. It's like there's some familiarity with it where it looks a bit weird. It is a bit strange as well, this piece too. But then say yeah, if I go to this one where this, it's got like, it's quite a simple concept. It's got the person there with the castle, there's a lot of familiarity and stuff you can have with it. But there was one piece, like, even say like with this, where you got the astronaut and the wings. It's something that you've probably seen a little bit before. Like, you've seen that sort of angelic sort of style artwork before, and you can be like, oh yeah, that is like a god creature and everything. And so this one isn't up on secondary. And so that for me means like, yeah, someone liked that enough that they just wanted to keep it. They didn't want to give it out straight away. But then like, say like with this one, I don't know if this is on secondary or not, but this for me is like, I still like the concept behind it, but then composition probably could have been a little bit stronger and stuff with it. Just there's a lot of emptier spaces around the sides where, hey, like, you know, this is more my style. Like, I'm trying to make sure it really fits well for me. But yeah, you got all the little castle sort of things going on there.
Well, I mean, it is in space, so I wouldn't be too hard on yourself.
No, yeah, but it's like, I want to be super hard on myself so that my art gets insane next month, you know, like, and like, I'm really proud with this piece. Like, it's, I think, composed well. The color choices are nice, like the textures and stuff too, on everything. And it's like, yeah, there's just like, and say with this one too, like, I like the color choices and everything, the composition. I'll try and find one that I wasn't as happy with. Sorry, I'll just go through. Like, I guess like this one's probably the standout one, where it's just, it feels like it's not as grabby as the other ones. It's a little bit toned down. The color choices and stuff could have been stronger. There's less detail, and there's less like emotion and stuff going on in there. I honestly, I still do like this piece, but compared to
Game
the
of
others,
Thrones style in the back there, and the in the bird human cages and stuff. But I mean, I would just say one thing is like, it's interesting. So, I mean, I know you're going through this stuff, and you want to get better and do that. And I mean, you know art a lot better than I, and you can see different things and stuff. But, you know, art is obviously in the eye of the beholder. But like when you talk about Picasso or any of the great artists that are out there, number one, you just say them by their name, right? So you'd be like, hey, you know, Dale, you know, whatever, right? But number two is that their pieces go for different prices as well, right? They have all-time highs, and they have, like, you know, some people find them at garage sales, but still, like, you know, there's different value to all these different pieces, but they are Dale Forward's pieces is what I'm trying to allude to. I know you're still learning it, but, you know, just to try to educate the people that are listening to this, it's like, your art is you're your own body of work, you know, from start to finish. And some people might like your pieces when you first started out, when you were like 4 years old, and you scribbled on, like, you know, a napkin, or what do you call, you know. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, but you're totally right, because I've made pieces where I don't fully connect with, and then someone else does, because they see it in a different way. Like, they connect with it because they might have seen it in a game, or like, it reminds me of a memory they had with like their parents or something like that. And it's like, obviously I couldn't prepare for that. And so for me, I've got my own things in there where it just maybe just doesn't hit the mark like it does with them. And that's where there was a piece that I like that was sold, where one of the guys bought this one just the other day, and a few people were saying how they really liked it, and like, I really like this piece. But what happened to me when he was saying on a post that he really liked it, it made me look at it in a different way, where I wasn't looking at it as its creator anymore. I was looking at it from just like that. I wanted to see how he saw it. And like, so I didn't see all the little elements that were put together to make up the piece, like all the 3D models. I saw it more as just the pure JPEG that was made. And that was a really interesting experience for me, because like, I didn't see all the little imperfections and stuff that I look for. I saw it as a whole thing. Like, I tried to see the flames, say, not as the particle effect that they are, but that that's the picture. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. And it was a really different experience for me because I started to really appreciate what this can represent to people, rather than me making an artwork that has a few qualities and stuff. It's like, no, like this piece can represent like that sort of journey to enlightenment or meditation or
Mhm.
spirituality and stuff like that, as well as being like, I would say, a nice composed picture. It's like nice on the eyes. And I think that's the sort of the level that I'm going to be trying to pursuing more. Like yes, it should be nice on the eyes, like as a base sort of level, but I think that it should be meaningful too. Like
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that
it
there's
should represent a part of a person's life. Like, and sorry.
no, I was gonna say there's a lot of depth and a lot of stuff going on in like the foreground and the distance. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy himself.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah. And yeah, and so that's where like with my stuff now, yeah, I'm trying to connect more into the psyche of the human, or like the buyer and stuff. So like with this piece, this one didn't say move as quick as the others, but I would say that was just based on the speed at which social media works and
Mhm.
everything. But like even with this, like spiders, a lot of people have experience with spiders and stuff, right? And so
Right.
they're happier to be like to have that in the piece, because they're like, yes, visually I think it looks really good, but then it's also there's a familiarity with spiders, and we like that sort of symbolism and stuff.
Right.
Then if we go back to the this one here, right? So this one's up for sale at the moment, right? And so it's a bit different, but it's basically a similar composition to the other ones, right? It's like got the
Mhm.
similar colors. Um, and I would say that artistically, the picture is nice. Like I really like the colors that have come out, the composition. I like how fluffy those trees and stuff look.
Yeah.
And I like the actual like design of the character, and then the design on the face that I've put on there. But I think what maybe is making people less connected to this than the other stuff is purely the actual main focus, which is like this sort of strange alien creature.
Right.
And I think that in time, yes, there will, like on a long enough time, there will be someone that connects with this piece and they see a part of their life in it. But I think as a general sort of thing, less people are connecting with it. Like there's stranger memories that people will attribute to this sort of
Mhm.
creature in this piece. And so then that will make people hesitate a little bit more, and then maybe would rather choose another piece over this.
Well,
And
they
so
also they also could be the people down below with the flame go. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with that torch.
yeah,
I don't know if
I
that's gonna
sort of
work.
imagine they just stepped into the scene. They're like, oh damn, like this is new. But so what I'm, I guess, trying to tap into is trying to tap into that general human experience that we all sort of like have in our lives, so that there's more
Yeah.
shared experiences in my art.
I mean, I think that's a great idea. I mean, if it's relatable and people could, relate to it, it evokes a memory, it evokes a thought, you know,
Yeah,
sense,
yeah,
smell,
exactly.
touch, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I've got they say this piece here where like now it's when I think people might look at this, they might see that this is now the AlgoGod collection, like a capsule of it. So now it's actually connecting to the collection in itself,
Hmm.
rather than like a human experience. And that's where there's a few different levels that I need to explore with these sort of ideas and stuff. And it might take me a bit of time to really connect, because like the levels in it is not only the human experience that you have as you grow up as a person, but also your experiences of media, your understanding of art, what symbolism means to you, how colors are affecting you and stuff too. So I'm going to try and tap into that base level, like primal primitive sort of way of thinking, so I can make artworks like that. Like where I think they can even maybe tap into like similar ideas of like religious art, like old ancient religious art, and
I
that's
like
sort
that.
of, yeah, and that's where
Relics, the Holy Grail.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, and because I do feel like it fits definitely my style, like the medieval fantasy style, and then obviously maybe like a slightly more modern take with the sci-fi robotics and stuff involved in there too. Um, and so that it can be more representative of actual like godlike creatures, but ones that represent human emotions and everything too, or like stuff that you feel like what I'd love to tap into is you feel like you've seen it before somehow, like you've seen it in a dream or something before, or in the back of your mind, like. And because I was thinking about with the Beatles the other day, I was listening to them thinking like, when I listen to their music, yes, I've heard it before, but I feel like I have, like before I even heard it, I have heard it before, like as if it's some sort of way that music should always have been made. Like it's tapping into that internal thing where it's like, yeah, this is how we wanted it to be, and you've just put it out there and made it that way. Like
Mhm.
that's where my head's at the moment, you know?
Yeah, I mean, music is powerful. Art is powerful. Yeah. Have you thought about doing like astrological signs and stuff?
Yeah, I have heard about like people have been mentioning that sort of stuff to me as well. And yeah, I think that could be a really interesting collection. I haven't like thought about it too much, but
Right.
yeah, working into that sort of stuff, like that mystical, like even like tarot card style stuff, and
Right.
um yeah, like, but yeah, and so yeah, I guess like that's sort of where my head's at the moment, like and then in terms of my release for those sort of things, i'm um I'm trying to get more of a rhythm and a habit, so that when I make posts, people already kind of know what I'm going to be doing for the next week. They kind of know what to expect. Like I'm wanting to work into the expectations and stuff of where you'll be able to tell me like in the next few weeks exactly what time I release and drop and stuff, and that I might be having a surprise drop once a week at some random time, that I'll be making these pieces and auctioning them off when they're made, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that when you think Dale Forward, you kind of already know how I'm going to release and the type of like content that I'm releasing. That's the sort of goal at the moment that I'm going to be building up over the next few weeks, I think. And
All right.
yeah, and so a part that's slightly frustrating with it too is that I've got some pieces already out there that I wasn't at this level now. So that's where it's like it's frustrating because they're on secondary and I'm like,
Mm.
you know, I like them. They are nice pieces. I wouldn't release them if I really didn't like them, but it's it's going to be interesting to see how they move, over the next few weeks and stuff. So I guess like I'm trying to not to get too caught up in that though. I'm just sort of like, hey, that's a mark of my journey as an artist. Like I'm not doing a profile picture collection. Like these pieces will get
Mhm.
better in time, and that's just the nature of it. And so yeah, so I'm just keeping tabs on the secondary market to see what's out there, so
Yeah.
that I can keep adding value to the pieces that are on there, so that hopefully they can move a bit more and stuff too. Because there's some interesting stuff on there too. There's I think the one at the moment's 75 algo for an interactive 3D one
Oh
from
well.
yeah, so you can click on it and then you can look at this 3D image. You can actually even use augmented reality. So if you're looking at it on your phone, you can put it into your world. And maybe even if you set it up, you could take a little selfie and stuff with it too, or something.
Oh wow,
But
that's cool.
yeah. And then there's a lot of the gifts from the old sort of stuff that I've been making. But so, and like, I've been just seeing, like, I've been trying to understand how people have been choosing their pricing and stuff for secondary market stuff, just so I can like help that a bit more. And I think that the main way I'm going to help that though is just adding more value to the collection as a whole, and engaging more people so that they're more aware of my stuff. So I'm trying to not get too caught up in that. But yeah, like, so because I know I'm just going to keep improving with everything, and hopefully then like the long-term goal is to make something like this.
There it is.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that's based off the Rise of Aurum book that I made, about a white minotaur who is like a great warrior, and he destroys robots. And then though he becomes like cast out because he actually learns that he should be embracing the robots, and so he befriends them and then brings them back, and then the Minotaur clan and the robots become like a bigger community and help each other. But yeah,
Very cool.
so that was just like a specialty piece from that.
Yeah, these are your others. Not to bring them up, but there they are.
Yeah, so it's like I'm trying to analyze definitely, like, the higher you go, there's like a level of quality, I would say, or at least that perceived sort of value in it, where there's people that have put it up because they don't want it really to move at all for a long time. There's some people that have put it up where they're happy for it to move, but really don't want it to move anytime soon. And then there's people that are definitely like, yep, I wouldn't mind just making a bit of extra coin from this. I don't mind if someone else that wants it more than me has it. And so, yeah, I'm still trying to understand the depths of that sort of secondary market and stuff, and seeing what comes up. But
There
yeah,
you are, right? That's you.
yeah, that's me. That's my face render. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's just it's an interesting sort of thing to look into. Like, so as you know, I'm like all in with this. I'm just every day, I'm just working at it. So, and this I think is still my 3rd month in it.
Yeah.
And
They're adding
so
up quick.
yeah, yeah. So it's hard to know what the next month will be, but I think a big thing I'm trying to remember too is how much progress I've made in this time, like where I've not only sold a whole lot of pieces, but built a stronger following and built a lot of understanding about improving my art too. So yeah, I'm trying not to get too caught up in the details, and mostly just trying to make stronger and stronger art that will just keep increasing the value of the collection as a whole. But yeah,
I would say 219 pieces is pretty good. For 3 months.
yeah, it's a good time. And you know, like the amount of stuff that I've moved as well over that time, like I would never have fathomed. Like that is huge for me. But yeah, it's an interesting time. And so I feel like I'm making progress, but yep, it still feels like it's early days with this. Like I feel like there's a lot more that can happen with this.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Excited to see how I mean, just the creations and the thought that goes into these is just, this is pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, like I want to make some incredible pieces, you know, like I do remember when I started, people were really liking the stuff I was releasing and everything. And I was like, yeah, I'm really happy with it too. But I know that it's going to get so much more depth in it. Like there's because I can show you, if I share my screen real quick, I can show you the piece that I want to make. So this is the long-term sort of goal of maybe over a year or something, right? So this is just a quick mock-up where obviously you got this piece here that you've seen before, and then each one of these will be its own sort of piece, so that you can keep zooming in and seeing like the mini Algo gods around too. And so then it'd be, I think, 888 images all the way around.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, so this would then be sold as like an individual NFT, so that it would be auctioned off maybe at the end of the year or something. and it could be something that I'll keep building. So like I could just have one where it's just the 4 pieces. So I've already got 3. And so I could do one more, and then I could just auction off the 4. So then I can keep building it up. Where I think there's also one that I've got. Hang on, I'll close this. One of like the 9 as well. So this would obviously take a while to put together.
Oh wow.
But yeah, but to make huge, like epic pieces, stuff that you could print off and put on your wall and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and so that's my sort of goal of making collections where it's like pictures inside pictures. And one thing I was thinking of doing too, which could be cool, is using the same technology I did with making my book, where you could have this as like a mini NFT website, where say you've got one big piece here, and then you can click on one of these pictures and it'll zoom in on it and then make it bigger again. So you can keep on zooming in basically infinitely, looking at this huge collection. And it could be literally like the whole AlgoGod collection in one as like an interactive NFT, so that you could scroll through randomly and just keep looking at each piece. That's a future piece, maybe.
I love it. I love it. There's a lot of creativity. No one else is doing that. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. I'm trying to like push the boundaries. This is what I've been doing with my art the whole time. Where it's like, I like with my drawing, I stayed on A4 size drawing for like years, because I thought, all right, I could just go bigger, and then that would make the piece better and more interesting. But why not just see how far you could go with a pure ink drawing? And like, and with it, I'll try and get another picture up. It's kind of cool. Oh yeah, this piece. I thought that, so you can have the image itself be more refined, more detail and everything. But that still limits it to like height and width. The only way I think to get more depth is to start telling stories and stuff in your pieces. Start connecting with that human psyche, like where say now for here it's quite simple, but it's telling like a story of a battle or something like that. And so now you can get more of a sense of time. Like you can if you wanted to look at this piece and really think, you could imagine that how these trees have maybe grown, and like how the these characters have gotten together over whatever long, like what their story is, and then now I've only made half the artwork because you've created the other half. And so and then you can multiply that from the collection as a whole, and my Twitter like sort of stuff, my artist journey. So now we've got 3 major pillars for the artwork in itself that keeps adding value to it. So to the point where like you could just say, take a little crop of this character, and then even though the artwork in itself would be really simple and wouldn't contain much, if you knew the lore behind it, then now that piece has lots of value and stuff. And so I'm trying to make sure that each one of those sections is filled like with lots of strength, lots of detail, and yeah, like lots of depth and stuff in it too. So I'm trying to learn about like composition and like the traditional concepts of art, as well as trying to tap into the NFT buyers, like the types of people that are in it at the moment, their interests, their history, what they connect with, so that I can make some really engaging pieces for the NFT community.
Yeah, that Telegram will help.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you got your
and I think that's basically that's everything that I've been doing. That's where my head's been at the moment. So my goal is then long term, just set that up, solidify it. Like,
well, I think it's important, especially as a collector. I mean, you're directly speaking and forming and forging a relationship with the artist. I mean, how does it get better than that?
Yeah, well,
especially if you like the art or love the art.
Yeah, well, like, cause I didn't imagine when I started that I would be doing something maybe of like this sort of level. where I would say this is definitely next level compared to the other stuff that I was doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And yeah, and so now I want to normalize something like this, where
Yeah.
when you look at this, you're like, oh yeah, that's just one of Dale's works, where you're not even as impressed, you know? It's
Yeah,
like,
I really like that piece. You showed that to me once before. I really do like the composition, the piece. I mean, it must have took a while placing everything and getting it right.
yeah, it was a bit different because of crowds with composition works different to other pieces, but yeah, no, I learned a lot from this piece, and now I'm trying to maintain that in my future pieces, and learn from it. But yeah, like Crypto Shane actually owns this piece.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
You got to snatch it from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he probably won't be selling it for a long while. I think he was saying it's probably going to be worth a lot in
Yeah,
a
I think he
while.
likes
Like,
it. Crypto Shanes knows his art.
yeah, he's good. Oh yeah, and like, I wanted to mention too, just real quick, that I helped set up a space the other day. So I had this idea for a space, for supporting mental health in the NFT space.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I hit up AlGold masks, or like Invert the World, or algorithms, if you've heard of any of those. And
Yeah, same
because
guy.
yeah, he's great. He's a lot of his art relates to mental health. And so I just thought, like, because I've been in spaces before where I've tried to ask, all right, I'm messed around with my head. I'm not sure what's going on. What am I meant to be doing? Like, what do people think of this? Just asking questions. And
Mhm.
so I was asking those in general spaces, but I thought maybe it's best because other people probably have the same questions. I'll just make a space purely for that for a little bit. And so I set it all up, and yeah, and like it was maybe like a 2 hour space. Lots of people came in, and it was, yeah, like it was a really supportive sort of space. Like a lot of people were saying it was really good and different, just because it wasn't shilling, it wasn't talking about coins and stuff.
Mhm.
It was just like, hey, how's everybody going? Like, even Rand Gallery came in, and he had a chat about how he's been a bit stressful sometimes with his stuff because he's been growing so much. And we were talking about how he deals with it and relaxes. We were talking about a bit more like the emotional side of art creation. And yeah, and I think in the future, that'll be something that maybe I'll try and do a bit more of, and just using the spaces as support and stuff for people too, and like seeing what more potential they could have. Like I'd love to run a space for first time sharers, so that people that have never shared their stuff, it's supportive for them to come up and talk. And yeah, but anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
these are all my thoughts. I guess we'll wrap it up there then, because I feel like I've covered everything that I've been thinking.
Yeah, no, good conversation. So I really appreciate having you on. I'm gonna have
Thank you.
Dale's info down below. I'm gonna add the Telegram for people down there too, so they'll be able to
Thanks.
find you. And like it, love it, share it. I like to say, watch it again. I mean, I have my parents watching these now, so
Oh,
got a lot
nice.
of views. We got a lot of views now. No, but in all seriousness, love it, like it, share it. If anybody else you know of would benefit from it, from an NFT artist journey, sharing all this good stuff, definitely pass it along to them and appreciate it. And until next time, we will have an update shortly, I'm sure.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right. Appreciate it.